Welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes with Cookeville Lifestyle. Today I am joined by my friends and local artists / thousands of other things, Terri and Skip Ritter. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you, Chelsea, for having us here.
Yes, we're looking forward to it.
So I've known Terri and Skip, I don't even know how we met, but probably through the Cookeville Art Studio somehow. I can't remember.
I don't remember either. It's just been a while.
But it has been a while. Maybe it was through the magazine somehow. But anyway, they've become kind of like family, I feel like. They're just so sweet, and I love having them in my life. So when we decided that we were going to do an art edition, my one request was Terri Ritter is getting a large spread, and she did.
Thank you.
So Terri runs the Cookeville Art Studio. It is a nonprofit art studio, and Terri is a volunteer, basically. But you work pretty much full time.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I feel like you work longer hours than I do. And she also is an acrylic pour artist, and her work is featured in this edition of the magazine. And her husband, Skip, is also a woodworker.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of people knew that.
No, a lot of people don't.
So he has one of the small 16 artist showcase features where we include a quote from him and his work. So he was also featured in this edition. And I just love being able to highlight you guys because Terri and Skip, if they look familiar to you, you might have seen them out and about volunteering at something in town. They volunteer at everything. I don't even know if you want to run down the list of events that you guys help with or the organizations you're involved in, but they are both retired. However, they work more than I do. And I think that's how you stay so young.
Well, I think Skip probably has volunteered at more things than I do. I'm just basically at the Cookeville Art Studio and Gallery, chaplain with the police department. What else? Church, do a lot there.
Yeah.
And, of course, I'm one of the chaplains of the police department and Tennessee Highway Patrol and American Legion, so that keeps me kind of busy.
Yeah, and y'all, don't you work the polls and all that too?
Oh, yeah, but that's every couple of years you're at the election polls.
Oh, still, it's more than I do. And I really, truly think it's the secret to a long life because they just seem and feel so young to me and they're at everything. But I want to go back because you guys have a very interesting history. So Skip was a pastor forever. How many years were you a pastor for?
Well, I've been in ministry about 40-some odd years.
40 years. And where did you preach?
Well, in the Chicago area and San Diego area, and then back to
Wisconsin?
Milwaukee and
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Wow.
And Florida.
And so where were you born?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. And Terri, where are you from?
Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay. So you guys met a little bit later on. Your paths came together. But that I didn't realize you had lived all those places. That's wild.
Yeah.
Well,
A well-traveled man.
And Terri was a flight attendant for so many years, so
Right.
she was all over the
I
place.
have a friend
too.
that said she had an address book just for me because I moved so often.
So Terri was a flight attendant. That was her career. Terri, where were you? You were based in Charleston? Or
Oh, no. I've lived for United, so I was based in Chicago and Cleveland and New Jersey and San Francisco and L.A.
Wow. So you would live in those places for certain periods of
Yeah.
time?
Or she'd commute to them.
Wow.
Yeah, I lived in Florida and commuted to Cleveland. I
Okay.
lived in Florida and commuted to Chicago and flew international.
When we lived in San Diego, then she would commute up to L.A.
Wow. So you both are very well-traveled people. You've seen a lot of the world.
We have.
Well, I was a director of a Fortune 500 company in national accounts. So when we first met, we actually would meet in the.
When we
at
first
the-
got married, we'd meet in the airports because I was
Yeah.
going out and he was coming in, or vice versa.
Wait, I didn't realize this. You've only ever told me that you were a pastor.
I
He was
remember
a CEO. What
I
the
met
heck?
him. I met him at church in a three-piece suit and that nice camel hair winter coat, and I'm like, wow.
Oh my gosh.
I met her in church too. by the way,
Okay, well,
so,
balance,
how that goes.
So did you attend his church or y'all just going to
No,
the
he
same
was
church?
he was in the business world at that time.
Okay, so you took a
We'd
break.
been married about 2 years when he left the business world and went to the seminary.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's fascinating.
What's even more fascinating was when he was 50, in order to be the chaplain for the sheriff's department in Florida, he had to become a certified sworn
Officer.
deputy. So he had to go through the academy. So here he is
Wow.
in there with these
20.
21-year-olds.
So I had a box and, mace and all that stuff, just
I mean,
like
he's still
anybody else
keeping
did.
up with everybody.
Yeah.
And
Now.
then I had to write the state exam, law enforcement exam, and pass that. And then I got sworn in as a deputy in order to fulfill all the obligations of the sheriff's department, where the chaplain had to be an officer.
Wow.
And we were, when I retired from the airlines, I became his women's chaplain at the county jail, which had 1,100 inmates
And that was where?
in Sarasota, Florida.
Okay, so you met in Florida?
No.
No, we met in Chicago
Oh, okay.
at a
Just-
church of about 4,000 or 5,000 people.
and you were living there at the time, or? Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then you moved to San Diego and then to Florida?
No, then we went to Wisconsin,
Wisconsin and then to Florida.
then to Florida,
Wow. You've been all over the map.
and now to Tennessee.
And so what brought you back to Cookeville or to
We'd never
Cookeville?
been. Well, after being on call for, I think you were with them 12 years, we were on call 365 days a year, 24 hours a day
With the chaplain for the...
with the sheriff's department
Okay.
for whatever they needed. So we just finally said, it's time to retire. And
Okay.
where do we want to go? And we really felt that God led us here.
Yeah. So how did you find Cookeville? Did you just
Um,
visit?
it was a word from the Lord, really. And we moved to Crossville first.
Okay.
Well, actually, we moved to Cumberland Cove.
Oh,
We
yeah.
lived
Just out
up
of
there
Monterey.
for 12
Yeah.
years before we moved down here 7 years ago.
Okay. And were you, how did you really start getting involved in everything here?
Well, did until we moved into Cookeville.
Okay.
Because it was so far to drive all the
It
time.
is, yeah.
And so now that we're here, it's just, let's go.
Oh, yeah. So Terry, you took over the duties at Cookeville Art Studio in what year?
2019, I went on the board as secretary
Okay.
and then went on as president the last 2 terms.
Yeah. And you started your art when you retired, right?
Yeah, I studied art in high school
Mm-hmm.
and college and then started flying and just kind of quit the art
Yeah.
and then went back to it in my 50s.
Oh, wow.
And when we moved here for the first Christmas, I gave her a gift certificate to go buy art supplies so she'd start getting back into art.
So sweet. If you know these two at all, they are the sweetest couple. Relationship goals for sure. So then you started getting back into the acrylic. Your main medium is acrylic pours.
Yes, but when I started back into art, I was doing watercolors,
Okay.
landscapes, and all that kind of stuff, and then went into acrylic painting. And then he introduced me on a YouTube to alcohol inks, which is another form of fluid art.
Okay.
And that led me into acrylic pours, which is a fluid art medium.
And it's so fun, by the way. I took a class from Terry, and then by the way, you can rent out Cookeville Art Studio for birthday parties. I don't feel like a lot of people know this,
They don't.
but we had my daughter's
6.
6th birthday party there, and it was a blast. Terry led all the kids in an acrylic pour, and they did these masks that they could take home with them and a canvas. And the kids, it was packed. There was like 20 kids
Yeah.
there, and they had a ball.
Well, what made it successful is you and all the parents.
Yes.
Because if I'd been there alone with 20 kids,
It was hands-on with these 6-year-olds trying to.
but they were so much fun.
It was. So you can rent out Cookeville Art Studio, but it is a nonprofit, and you guys have galleries, and you let artists showcase their work for free, correct?
No, there is a fee to rent the gallery.
Okay, so to do the whole gallery, they have to pay a
Right.
fee.
And what we've done for this next year is we put out the word all over Chattanooga, Nashville, Knoxville. We have people coming in from Knoxville and Lebanon, artists
Oh, wow.
this year. And we're going to have 4 artists in the gallery every month, 4
Oh,
different
wow.
artists. So it's going to
That's
be
amazing.
different. Yeah.
So it's behind the Senior Center on Walnut. I also think people don't know how to find you guys. It's behind the Senior Center on Cedar.
On Walnut.
On Walnut. So it's behind there, and you'll see it, Cookeville Art Studio, and you can go in 10 to 4 every single day and look at the art. You can
Monday
buy
through Saturdays.
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday, buy local art from local artists, or maybe Nashville, Knoxville, whatever.
And it's free admission to the gallery. We
Yeah.
don't charge for that.
And the gallery changes every month, so you could come in every month, 12 times a year, and see different shows.
Yeah, that's incredible. And Terry also makes the earrings that she has on now and lots of other beautiful earrings. And then again, Skip makes these incredible bowls and
Platters.
platters, different woodworking things that you can buy at Cookeville Art Studio.
Absolutely. We have 80 different artists at Cookeville Art. Plus, we're affiliated now with other groups. We have always been affiliated with Tennessee Art Round, or Art Round Tennessee, and they had a show last month, and it was phenomenal.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So
They're very involved, and they also do workshops, a ton of workshops and classes. If you want to just go learn, I went and it was so much fun. Take your friends, go have a little.
I have a class April 5th.
Okay. Well, just look on their social media. Is that where everything is, or
Yes,
is it?
you can find it on our Facebook page, on our website. The calendar's up to date.
Cookeville Art Studio and Gallery, and they also offer summer camps for kids, which I am interested in because I have kids that are that
on
age.
the list.
So I've told all my friends, and I think a lot of them are going to pile on to that summer camp, and she'll go over it'll be a blast for the kids, and it's from 10 to 2 for a week in June and in July. So look into that. And then you guys are also doing
Paint with the Stars.
Painting with the Stars. They have this incredible, I told Terry, I've been in charity event world for a while, and the same old thing gets it's overdone. The same old gala or ball or whatever, because there's just so many here. And how do you compete with that as a nonprofit? Terry had the idea of doing a Painting with the Stars, where she has like well-known local people come in and paint something at an event where people can walk around and look at what they're painting, and then they auction them off live that night after they're done painting. And it's so fun. I went and I was so stressed. That was the most stress I've ever felt in my life. So I know that I should not ever do that again, but I will go attend them. It was too much for me. I don't know why. I'm not a stressed out person, but I painted this cow, and it was actually really cute.
It was really good. It was.
I was
well,
stressed.
but we've removed a lot of the stress by having the stars are people who are not artists.
Yes.
And we're pairing them now with a professional artist.
Which helps so much.
You paint 50-50 on the canvas. And, it's like if I said, well, Chelsea, paint this tree. And you're like, what?
Right.
I will show you how to paint the leaves in the tree. And you're like, oh, okay, I can go do that.
Yes. That's
so-
very helpful. So you'll actually get a piece of art that you'd want to display in your home instead of like some of the art that comes from the celebrities. I don't know about that. But and it's all benefiting the Cookeville Art Studio, which again is a nonprofit.
We're also going to have an art fair.
Right, and that's the other thing I wanted to bring up, the art fair at Hyder Burks.
At the barn, July 19th and 20th.
Okay.
And from 10 a.m. to 6 on Saturday, and from 12 to 6 on Sunday. And our goal is, it's free. There's no admission to get into the art fair. We'll have the regular vendors and food trucks out there, but we're going to have a lot of booths that are set up just for art, like kids' arts and crafts booths, so they can make something. Or Chelsea comes up and says, oh, I wish I could do watercolor. Well, sit down here. I'll show you a couple of lessons. Or just another booth where somebody's painting, and you can stand and watch them. We also want all the kids' zone stuff free. Mm-hmm. We've got 5 bouncy houses scheduled, petting zoos, the balloon people, the face painting, all of that free. So we're currently looking for sponsors to help, cover all the costs of that. We don't want to have to charge for anything for the kids at all, except go out the food trucks. You can afford then to buy a hot dog or something for your kids.
And that's such a great way to promote local art again in our community.
Well, the sheriff's department's going to get involved. Sheriff Ferris says they may bring the helicopter.
Oh, wow.
And so we don't know what else is going to be a surprise coming.
There might even be a big balloon that has hot air in it.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So lots of surprises. This is the first year they're going to do it.
Pet a lamb.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ooh.
Cora's bringing the cuddle goats,
how fun. The kids will love it, and it'll give you something to do this summer with your kids. So,
and it's free.
and it's free, and that's always nice. So,
He's going to be a major part of that too, because everything's got to be organized. Somebody's got to be out there saying, "Okay, here's where you go. Here's where you go." And that's
Skip
his
is
job.
always right there telling Terry he's going to help her with whatever she needs, and that's what a good husband should do. So thank you, Skip, for being a good
Measuring
example.
hammers levels.
But anyways, I love you two dearly. Is there anything else you want to mention?
We love you too. And we're so grateful to be in your magazine this time around.
Yes, pick up a copy. Thank you. And pick up a copy of our art edition out now. You can find it at cookevillelifestyles.com/find the magazine. Our social media has it everywhere where you can find it and pick up a copy. And you'll see these two beautiful people.
And
I
come
think
into
you said-
Cookeville Art and pick one up.
Yes, go to Cookeville Art
I think
Studio.
you set a new level for Cookeville magazines.
Oh, well, thank you very
Absolutely.
much.
Yeah, we needed this.
Well, thank you. And I just appreciate your support so very much. And yes, go follow Cookeville Art Studio and you can follow along with all the dates and workshops and all the things. Thank you,
Yay.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.